Silly season dominoes continue to fall in the NASCAR world as Daniel Suárez will be headed to Trackhouse Racing for the 2021 season, and Hailie Deegan will be making her Truck Series debut next weekend at Kansas Speedway. Let's get into today's episode. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. To start off today's episode, Michigan has extended its deal with Cup Series race sponsor Firekeepers Casino through the 2023 season. What this confirms to me is that Michigan International people will at least have a Cup Series day through 2023. So at least you're going to see one race at Michigan International Speedway. Good to hear that there's going to be a sponsor, keeping their tabs and keeping themselves as a sponsor for the 2021 season. At least for the next 3 years, we will have a race at Michigan International Speedway with this confirmation. I'm expecting more tracks in the future to announce that they will have more races at the track and keep their contracts with teams. I know that there's really only 1-year contracts with most of the organizations, but it's really cool that Michigan will at least continue to have a race through 2023, even though the racing hasn't been great. On to the next story. We're going to talk about the Talladega TV ratings as NBC earned a 1.92 rating and 3.1 million viewers for the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega. There is no direct comparison to this race as last year's race was postponed to Monday due to rain. Now, here's something really interesting to note. NBC is currently up 1% in viewership for its half of the season. Now, in my opinion, if it wasn't for the pandemic and you have all these sports going on at the moment, I think the ratings would honestly, generally, they'd be down, will actually be up a little bit, probably about 5% up in general. I think the fact that also that ratings were not lower, I think the ratings were a little bit lower as well, technically, because of, them moving it from NBC to NBCSN, which that was a really bad decision. I think the ratings would have been up a little bit higher, maybe up to 4 million viewers, possibly for the race, but a lot of people who could not watch the race at Talladega International Speedway, because NBCSN, the end of the race I'm talking about, we lost some viewers there, but the fact that we still have a percentage increase in viewership, a lot of that comes from that Brickyard 400 week, and that week we had a huge increase in ratings. The fact that we are up in viewership this year, I'll take it, honestly, considering all the rain delays and all the stuff that's happened this year. The fact that NBC's been able to have the ratings up at least 1% next year, for this year at least, is really, really good to hear. And now we get into the first big story of this episode. Hailie Deegan is going to make her NASCAR National Series debut in the Gander Outdoors Truck Series next weekend for DGR-Crosley in the number 17 truck. Drew Blickenserver is expected to be the crew chief, and like I said, she will make her debut at Kansas International Speedway. Hailie Deegan is one of the promising future stars in NASCAR. She has been in the NASCAR ARCA Series this year and has scored 3 victories in the K&N Series, which is now the ARCA West Series, which has scored 3 victories in the ARCA West Series currently at this moment. I think that this is a learning step for her. I think she's only there at Kansas to kind of learn and get behind the ropes and try to prove herself as a driver. I mean, let's be honest. She's not learning anything at ARCA. The series has been dying. There's like 5 or 6 cars competitive on a week-to-week basis, and there's only 4 drivers competing for the championship. But she is not winning the championship, and she doesn't have a chance to really win the championship this year. She is 3rd out of the 4 current drivers in the points, as you have Michael Self ahead of her and Brett Holmes ahead of her. The only driver behind up that is a full-time driver is Drew Dollar, along with this Ty Gibbs, who hasn't even ran a full season, has 6 victories, and he's 5th in the points. He's only ran like maybe 2/3 of the season that the rest of the competition tells you. That should also tell you that Ty Gibbs probably will be the champion if he was full-time, but since he's not 18 years old, he can't run the season full-time. So I'm very intrigued to see how Hailie Deegan is going to do in this truck. I really am. Like I said, I think her goal is to get experience and learn in a truck competition. I think she might move up the trucks this year in 2021 full-time. That is a very big possibility. I think Hailie Deegan does have potential and a lot of talent. I know that this year there have been some controversies around her, with the COVID-19 and the mask situation and her driving and TikTok and stuff. But in all my honest opinion, that really doesn't matter. I'm here to see how she does. I would like Hailie Deegan to see it. I think she is a future promise of the sport. I think, like I said, she needs to get better, and I wish that she was competing ARCA, but let's be honest, ARCA Series, like I said, is dying, and you're really not learning that much. I think her jumping up the trucks and getting experience in that is a really good move. What are my expectations for her? I think she could finish on the lead up. I don't expect her really even to contend for the win. I think if she would contend for the win, that would be incredible, but I'm not really expecting her to contend for the win. I think maybe a top 20 is very, very possible. I don't think she's going to crash that. I think she's really, really talented. But I think Hailie Deegan could do a lot, and I think that there is a chance, like I said, that she could move up the trucks this year. We would really have to see, and it's very hard to tell if she is going to move up the trucks here, but I'm really excited to see what she can do. I'm not like my expectations are not very high on Hailie Deegan for this race, but she's got time to learn, she's got time to grow, and I think there's a driver, if she moves up the trucks this year full time, maybe like for DGR-Crosley, it would be really cool to see what she could do next year. And even if she doesn't do well in her first year, maybe, if she moves up next year, maybe she can stay there for a couple years and kind of get experience in the NASCAR Truck Series. I think that's what she should do. I think her getting her first start, I'm very intrigued to see. I think a lot of people are going to be watching this race to see how she does because she has a lot of superstar power currently at the moment. And now we get into the big, big story of this episode. Trackhouse Racing is going to be making their full-time debut in the 2021 season, and Daniel Suárez will be the driver. There will be the number 99 car, which the car looks really, really awesome, by the way, and a team will have an alliance with Richard Childress Racing. On top of that, they have leased a charter with Spire's number 77 team. Now, what's also interesting, though, is that Ty Norris will run the operations for the team, and Spire will still run a two-car operation. So, that team is still going to have 3 charters, which is really interesting. Now, there are rumors speculating that Spire basically took it from the 37 organization, but Takashek or someone who is insider said, no, that's not true. That hasn't been confirmed yet. But also, here's something interesting as well. Justin Marks' team wants to be competitive from the start. They do want to make the playoffs in the 2021 season, similar to what Bubba Wallace and Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan want to do next year. This team wants to compete for a championship next year. I'm here to see it. I really, really am. First of all, I'm not a fan of the charter system, first of all, but I really am happy to see new teams come to sport. You look at Bubba Wallace's team, and you look at Justin Marks' team. Those teams are showing up. And I'm also very intrigued to see Daniel Suárez, what he can do with this organization. This is going to be the 14th that Daniel Suárez has been on in 5 seasons, which is really, really interesting. What are my expectations for Daniel Suárez next year? I'm going to keep my expectations a little bit low. I think Daniel Suárez is a very talented driver, and I think he has a lot of capabilities, and I think that he could prove something on a racetrack. But has he underperformed in the first years when he was at Joe Gibbs and SHR? Yes, absolutely. But that's not to say that Daniel Suárez could perform really, really well, and he did pretty well at Gone Brothers. Yes, he wasn't like contending for wins, but he kept the car in one piece. I don't think he had a single DNF. Maybe he had a DNF at Talladega, which I think is his first one. But Daniel Suárez, I think, has a lot of talent. I think he got rushed up to the Cup Series, to be honest with you. And I think I'm really intrigued to see how he can do at Trackhouse Racing. I'm really, really excited because I'm a huge Daniel Suárez fan. Yes, I know that he hasn't done as much as he could, but I think he has a lot of capabilities, and also very intrigued to see how Ty Norris is going to do running team, because I know he was kind of part of that whole Michael Waltrip scandal in 2013 when Spingate happened. But I think Ty Norris could do a lot as well with this team. And also another interesting note, what's going to happen with silly season now? Because silly season has kind of opened up in a sense. Now, the question is who's going to go to the 43 cars? Because it was rumored recently that they were looking for a driver that with diversity, and with Hailie Deegan probably going to trucks next year, that's being rumored at the moment, and with Daniel Suárez going to 43, who do I think is going to be driving the 43 car next year? While I did talk about this driver 2 days ago on Monday, I talked about a certain driver named Ty Dillon. I actually believe that Ty Dillon is going to be the driver of the 43 car next year because, 1, that is an RCR-affiliated team. 2, he says he does have sponsorship. Now, he did say recently that if an Xfinity Series opportunity does come up, that there is a good chance that he could, go to the RCR program. Another driver that could end up driving this car, if he's not re-signed with Wood Brothers, is Matt DiBenedetto. I know Matt DiBenedetto doesn't really have a lot of sponsorship, but apparently Peak has interest in Matt DiBenedetto, so that is also a very big possibility. You also have Eric Jones as a possible candidate for that ride as well. Eric Jones is not signed with a team right now, and we don't know what's going on with Eric Jones currently at the moment. It really is a shame that Eric Jones does not have a ride at the moment. I really wish he does. But I still have my eyes right now on Ty Dillon being the driver of the 43 car, since that is an RCR affiliated team. And I'm also very excited to see what Daniel Suárez can do next year. I think that Daniel Suárez, I really think that I'm not expecting Daniel Suárez to go win races immediately, but maybe he'll win next year. Who knows? But my expectations for Daniel Suárez, I think, are probably going to be top 25 in the points. It's not going to be too high, but I think with a startup team like this, and they want to be have caliber, and a driver, who has ran NASCAR in the past and has known about this and wanting to get experience for the next-gen car, I am really excited to see what this team can do next year, and I'm very excited to see where this organization will go for the 2021 season. So, anyway, that is going to be it for today's NASCAR news video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so you can be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links description below for that. And comment your thoughts on today's video. How do you feel about Hailie Deegan making her Truck Series debut at Kansas? What are your expectations? Do you think that she is going to run well, or do you think that she is going to run really poor? Let me know in the comments below. And how do you feel about Daniel Suárez headed to Trackhouse Racing? Are you excited about that or not? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.